366 video series. Today I am coming to you for the 256th video of this series. This series is intended to be a video every single day that offers you, the watchers, different ways in which you can align to the natural laws. The natural laws are those laws that govern all of energy, the entire energetic process that goes beyond the physical and into the non-physical, right? Because our energy, everything is energy and everything runs in patterns. And if you don't understand how to adjust your patterns in alignment with the natural laws, you know, life can be quite challenging and difficult. So these videos are intended to provide actionable ways in which you can align by doing daily practices. Now, every day I'm talking about something different. Today I am talking about how to two important aspects for helping interpreting the emotional process. Hello, good to see you. So I'm gonna just go ahead and wait for a few more people to jump on here, but give my disclaimer here, which I am not a therapist, I am not a psychiatrist, I am a consultant to the energetic process, and I help people align through the process of energy psychology. And that is essentially aligning our physical, mental, emotional, spiritual bodies in alignment here. Hi, Eric, yay, good to see you. In alignment within, in connection to our heart so we can vibrate and access higher levels of consciousness. So the question that I am answering today is, I'm just going to see if he's going to jump on. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Raza. Good to see you all. So today's question, I have a moderator today. I have two potential moderators today to help in the chats. So somebody is already asking a question. What do higher levels of consciousness look and feel like? Feel like, yeah. So I'll get to that after I answer today's very important question. So the question came from one of the members here, which is the mind stays on, but all the emotional processing, desire to connect, feeling, sensing stops. What follows is a numbness of the body and a growing distrust towards others. So I wanted to really address, you know, how to interpret emotional processing, because part of what is happening is that the mind is very active. And when the mind is very active, it's usually going to kick in the ego mind, which is going to make us very defensive. So when you are processing emotions, it's super simple. That does not mean it's easy, because we have to train ourselves to be in connection to our emotional body. If we're so disconnected, that could be very challenging, but not impossible. It can be adjusted and it can be changed. But the first and most important thing about emotions that people need to be aware of is that when you're processing your emotions, you want to be processing in the space of non-judgment. Meaning, if you're having an emotion, let's just say you're judging the emotion as good or bad. That is judgment. So you want to stay out of any judgment, and you want to see the emotion specifically as it is, as an emotion, without any thought about what it means, where it came from, and what caused it. Those are all part of the active mind, which counterproductive to actually processing the emotion. So to the best of your ability, you want to practice processing your emotions from the space of non-judgment, okay? Now, I know that is super challenging. It's a simple idea, but it's not easily implemented. But it can be with practice. The more practice you have, the more attuned you will be to simply processing without judging. You'll just see an emotion, and it's an emotion, and you'll see it and you'll witness it. And that goes into step 2. So once you are in non-judgment of your emotions, what you want to do is experience the emotion. Emotions are part of our human experience. And if you're in disconnection, you've disconnected from part of your innate natural abilities. And our emotional body is how we access our soul. So a lot of people might get distracted. Sorry, I wanted to make a note. I just saw something in the chat. I don't have a pen today. Sorry, I got distracted. I saw something in the chat. Oh, well, I guess I'll get it later. So when you're in non-judgment and you're experiencing your emotions, you want to do that as an observer, like you're observing yourself. Say, I'm feeling sad, and you feel sadness, and you find the sadness in your body. Like I've gone through how to process emotions before, but this is really how to understand the processing in a more applicable way. So you want to observe yourself experiencing the emotion. You don't want to exaggerate it. So many people are afraid of their emotions or feeling because of something that may have happened. Let's just say a trauma has occurred, or a memory of a trauma has occurred, and you are afraid you're going to get stuck in the emotion. Here's the thing, is you can't get stuck in the emotion. When the emotion is processing, it will go through the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body, and the spiritual body. That's how it completes. It won't complete if you don't sit with it and observe it and watch it. It won't complete. It will stay. So that's why so many people stay in emotional states for so long, is because they resist or refuse or don't know how, which is often the case, to process emotions. Because I don't know, I never met a therapist that taught people how to process emotions. Most therapists in my experience, most therapists spend their time telling people to identify what the feeling is. It doesn't fucking matter. Sorry, my language. It doesn't matter what the feeling is. The only thing that matters is that you are feeling it, witnessing it, honoring it, and being in non-judgment. That's all that matters with the emotional body. It doesn't even need the mind to process all the way through. Those are fallacies, lies, mistakes, misunderstandings about the emotional body. So I wanted to share the information up front. Wow, I got all the information pretty quickly here. So I'm just going to go and look and see if there's any questions. Always good to see you here, Eric. Hello, New World. I am doing great. Okay, here's the question from Nabet. What do higher levels of consciousness look like and feel like? So that's a great question. In my experience, higher levels of consciousness come in the form of color. Color is a consciousness. So don't mistake colors for nothing. They come in many different colors, and oftentimes when my clients are having an experience, they will see colors similar to the aurora colors that you see in the sky. I think it's called aurora borealis, and that's kind of how the colors come through in higher states of consciousness. How it feels like peace. It feels like love and nothingness all at the same time. That's how I would explain it. I'm sure my clients would explain it their own way because we all have our own unique experience, but it's really a beautiful experience. So I hope that helps. That's my experience anyways. I live in California. Everybody asks me where I'm from. Hello, India. New World team, I hope you find the medicine that you need for your son. Just seeing. Nabet, this is the first time I've seen you on here, but if you subscribe, I'll make you a moderator. I don't know. I have 2 moderators on here, and I don't know how. There's just a lot of them. And I think it's because this channel is about consciousness. Carson, I don't know what you're talking about. Just looking for any questions about interpreting the emotional processing. That's what we're talking today about. How to interpret the emotional processing. I gave 2 very specific things. Will, hello. So glad to see you here. Yes, we have a moderator. Let's see how this goes. Thanks, Will, for being here and for volunteering to help me. Have I ever felt anything? Mick, I'm not sure what you're asking here. I've never felt anything for anyone or anything. Well, that would be disconnection, Mick. And if you're not, if you're aware that you're in disconnection, Mick, which you clearly are in awareness of that. So that's a good step. It doesn't matter why you're in disconnection, although I'm sure you can find many reasons as to why you're in disconnection. What's most important is that you have awareness. And if you want to begin to, sorry. Just got a package. Sorry about that. If you want to begin to feel, that is the first next step. So don't judge what you feel. Remember, we're in non-judgment and we want to experience emotions. So allow yourself to experience. How do you do that? First, by connecting with your heart. That is how you will begin to experience at a higher states and you won't get stuck. Okay? Hopefully that helps. I'm going through a very bad phase right now. Can you give me the right path? I want to express how I feel and express it here. Aju is saying that they're having, well, first of all, you know, bad is a judgment. So if we want to practice what we're learning here today, you want to be in non-judgment. So I'm feeling uncomfortable. So you want to kind of go into what it is that you're feeling and feel that with non-judgment and experience it so it could go all the way through. It is extremely important and very helpful to be in connection with your heart as you're feeling. That will help you immensely. So sometimes putting your hand on your heart, also using conscious breath. And there is a video on here that I teach when you're under a lot of stress, which as you, it seems like you're really under extreme stress right now. So you want to breathe a particular way. And I have the breath of life on here where I teach when you're under stress a particular way. And so if you do the breath in connection with the heart, and then you observe in non-judgment, meaning it's not good or bad, it just is, that should help you tremendously. And beautiful, vulnerable share there. Thank you very much. Singh is saying he wants to experience with me. Well, you can have an experience of this channel and see what you think. I don't know what's going on with Will is helping here. Thank you, Will. Aju, I got that one, so let me see. Mick Dawn is saying, I can't compute anything. Why? Mick, this is exactly why I created my peace program, because many people do not understand what is going on within their minds and their brains. And when our circuitry is off, and there are so many different aspects where our circuitry can be thrown off, it'll throw off our central nervous system, for example, will throw off every single hormone in your body. Okay, if you're taking any medications, Mick, that will definitely influence how you are computing. So I would ask, are you taking any medicines? And if you're not, are you using any substances like alcohol, pot, mushrooms, anything like that? Because that would help you. And Mick, thank you so much. I do have a special going on for this month for first timers. Thank you. Will, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Wow, thank you, Will. And Will is listing the website. Thank you, because he knows I'm technically not very savvy. I appreciate you, Will, so much for doing that. Rohan is saying, can you please say something about sexual desire? Yes, sexual desire is often misinterpreted, and it would be different than the spiritual house. So that would be a sexual desire that is, let me say, if it's in any way, shape, or form out of control, like an addiction, that would be a spiritual house that is not of God, so more demonic. And I don't really want to get into naming things, but what I would say is many people, women and men, have been hijacked sexually. And there are programs that are really nefarious that are impacting humanity for this. So you're not alone. It's nothing to be ashamed of. There are programs out there that will hook you in your mind, mentally, in ways that are really destructive. So when you have built your spiritual house really strongly, meaning you're connected to your heart, you are connected to kindness, generosity, love, compassion, source energy, creator, God, when you're really honed in and practicing every single day with to the best of your ability, okay? No judgment. You're just doing the best to your ability. That sexual desire will shift. However, there are programs running, so just know that you're not crazy. You're not crazy, and it's not just you. So I hope that helps you, Ronan. Hello, India. Twisted is saying that they are a therapist. Well, that's a good reminder. I am not a therapist or a psychiatrist, and I do not recommend going to any therapist or psychiatrist that is using any kind of mind-altering drugs. Those are portals for nefarious energies to come through. So if you're working with a therapist, and I'm not saying that Twisted Journey is a bad therapist in any way, I'm just saying that I don't recommend it for me. I think occasionally here and there, but I have clients that use that stuff. So, but I think it can be a portal. And if you're not, if people are not aware of how energies get manipulated, those are one of them. So Twisted Journey, I'm not bashing you. I'm just saying that I'm not a therapist and I'm not a psychiatrist, and I do not recommend those tools for the reason that I suggested, that it can be It can be a portal. And I just don't think most people know that. Neezy, who does the therapist run to when they need a therapist? Well, most of them stay within the system. So if you understand psychology, and when I get technically savvy enough, I want to do a video where I'm commentating on another video where they basically talk about the DSM, which is how diagnosis is happening. Because it would blow your mind. I really got to figure this out. I will eventually figure it out, but that'll be like a 4 or 5 hour stream because it's so much information and it's so good. And I would probably be in my happy place having a discussion with you all about that craziness that happens. So who do therapists go to? They usually go within their own systems. As far as I'm aware, a therapist will usually go to another therapist. I have some therapists, some nurses, executives as clients, entrepreneurs, a lot of energy people tend to come to me. But, you know, they go to with what they resonate with. And that's kind of what sucks about energy when you don't understand it, is because your resonance is going to determine what you actually will be attracted to. And if you are not sure how you're resonating, and like, for example, you will have a preference for an experience, but you will be experiencing something different. So your preferences and your resonance will be different. And that's what's called incongruence. And that's what I help people with. But I don't know who therapists go to. I mean, I went to therapy when I was in my 20s. I've gone on and off to ask questions, but I have to tell you, it's very, very hard to find a therapist who is, number one, open, and number two, knows what the hell they're talking about. So for example, if you are contending with somebody with narcissism, most therapists are horrible at it, and most don't know what to do. And they give really bad advice. But that's just my experience. I mean, I can't even believe the advice that they give. It's so stupid. But that's not everybody. You know, and that's me. And I'm educated in this. Luis is saying, if only life was black and white. I love the color. I am in my kitchen. Soon I will be 60. My dad just got 61. Remember life when your life becomes better than one song. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know how to make an admin while I'm on the phone. I have to be in my computer, and I don't like doing these on my computer. The moment that these lives become complicated for me, I won't do them. Ronan, I'm not sure what you want me to explain, so you'll have to write an explicit question so I can answer. Somebody's asking, what do I think about Hinduism? I don't really think about it at all. I will say that yoga has been, you're saying in relation to yoga, I think. Okay, so what I would say is that yoga in the United States has been hijacked, and it's become an exercise instead of a practice of breath and heart connection for the most part. And people that say they're going to yoga, I will say most people don't know that yoga is supposed to be a practice to become still. And the positions, also known as a kriya, are intended to bring alignment to the meridians, to your chakras, to your energy systems, okay? So I grew up with my mother teaching yoga back before it became trendy. And I will say I'm not a fan of yoga per se, because I didn't like the incongruence that I would feel when I would go to a yoga class here in the United States. Now, I did attend a Sadhguru event where you learn his inner engineering kriya, And I think it's beautiful. And I practiced that for almost 5 years. And I thought it was really exceptional and a beautiful way in which to align. But I do think that for the most part, yoga has been usurped and it's very incongruent. We have teachers teaching incongruence, and they're teaching a physical practice. And although we have a physical body, our physical body is a vessel in which we experience our spiritual expressions. That's essentially my take on it. I don't know if that helps you or not, but twisted journey, it feels like being tuned into the right station. Well, I'm not sure. Mick is saying, I don't even have a cooler. Like I have no... Mick, just try breathing then. You're intellectualizing the experience. Just sit and breathe, put your hand on your heart and breathe. And just try to find some space in between your thoughts with just sitting in stillness. No music, no meditation, no nothing, just sit in stillness. How do you attain higher levels of consciousness? You attain higher levels of consciousness, in my experience, by having practices of alignment, having an attunement to your energy field, and knowing when there is inorganic or otherwise known as AI energies in your field, so you can assess that. That will help you, because those AI frequencies or EMFs or higher, the ringing in the ears, all these different things that happen to people, that blocks you from higher levels of consciousness. So how do you attain it? You attain it through your connection to creator energy, essentially, without going into anything specific. Well, Will, you're doing an amazing job. Thank you, Oliver, too. Well, Ronan, what is a libido? I'm not going into a discussion here on that. I don't think it's appropriate, or is it on the topic, but thank you for your question. Twisted Journey, I just subscribed. I'm interested in your message and information. Well, I'm glad. I think that you probably offer with good intentions. And this is the thing about medicines. If we don't understand how critical our intention is, we can easily be influenced, I'll say. But thank you for being here, Twisted Journey. I think that your name is beautiful. D Nice, hello. Joe Waters, why do all 4 men start conversations with "I love you"? You all are weird. I don't know, Joe. And I don't think that's all. I haven't actually even noticed that. Ronan, I've given you examples on how to deal with your sexual desires. Stop watching TV, stop watching porn, start connecting with your heart. Try those, do conscious breathing. I have the breath of life on here. Try those and see how that shifts you. And if it doesn't shift you, then you need assistance and get some help. Nobody. When I get mad, I feel it in my jaw. Beautiful awareness, Nobody 7. Good to see you again. Thank you for being here. I feel it, breathing. I would like for the jaw to stop clenching every time. Well, nobody seven, what I'm hearing you say is that you have a great awareness of when tension is manifesting for you. And I really want to congratulate you on that, because that's a beautiful awareness to have. The unfortunate aspect that I'm seeing in what you wrote here is that you're judging it. You want it to stop. And so that's creating resistance. So what you want to do is release all resistance to how your body is teaching you and become in tuned with it. So what I would suggest is breathing through your mouth, as I've shown in the Breath of Life video. Breathe through your mouth. It's 2 breaths in and exhale out. 2 breaths in through the nose and exhale out through your mouth. And when you're breathing, you want to be in connection to your heart. But make sure that before you even go to your jaw, stay in your heart and release all resistance, because the tension is resistance, you see. So you don't even want to feel what you're feeling. And that's the resistance. So you want to, that's the judgment. So let go of all the judgment and just experience the emotion that may be jammed or stuck, because emotions can get stuck in your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, and your spiritual body. They can get stuck and they can really be intense. But what you want to do is release all judgment and really allow yourself to experience the observer. Observe yourself experiencing the jaw tension. Just observe it and see how that works. Ronan, wasting is a judgment. So again, you're in judgment. You don't have to stay. You can go, Ronan. You don't. This channel is not for everybody. This channel is for higher levels of consciousness and for doing your own work. Every day I'm coming on here giving really practical applications on how to align to the natural laws, and actually for you to empower yourself so you can heal yourself, because all healing comes from within. So you don't have to stay here if you don't want to do your own work. Even when clients come to me, like I help them do their own work, but they still have to go out and do life. They can't be with me every day. So you need to practice. Thank you. Mel, good to see you. Mel, you're under a lot of stress. You guys are both under a lot of stress and tension, and so the jaw will clench when you have a lot of tension. So if you're under a lot of stress in your life, that's a good indicator that you need some type of stress release, right? You need to understand how to manage your stress differently. There is, so something Mel and Nobody Seven, there is, I don't know, are you guys into flower essences or homeopathic remedies? Those are natural. They work off of the quantum field, and they're very supportive, and it's not, the Twisted Journey might be interested in this as well. There is something that's very easily accessible. One is from FES, and it's a flower essence, and you would want to get the 5-flower. Or you can get from Whole Foods or a health food store or a vegetable store of some kind. They usually carry something that's a rescue remedy. You can also get it on Amazon. It is by Bach, B-A-C-H. And those are really good homeopathic mixtures. One is just flower essence, and one is a mixture of flowers and homeopathics to help stress, for high stress environments. I used to give them to my clients, and they used to call them the peace pills. And they're just a really simple thing that you can have on hand when you have a lot of stress. So Mel and Nobody Seven and anybody else who's watching out here, if you're open to that type of thing, and even Twisted, you might find that helpful and supportive for yourself and or your clients. Somebody is saying that we have to judge each other. Well, your judgment is your curse. Like what you judge is what you get. So you're basically cursing yourself when you judge. So it's a dangerous thing. You have to do your best to get out of that. Oh, NGD says, I put my hand on my heart. That's very good. It's a great way to remember. Yes, Chris, life can be very stressful, no doubt. And I can, Mel is going through caretaking her father, and caretaking others is an extremely stressful job. And in fact, one common theme that I've had with my mothers, who are clients who come to me, mothers struggle with a mother's guilt. Well, this is not just for mothers, but it is something that a lot of mothers really have a difficult time really admitting that they really don't like being a mother sometimes. And that resistance really creates a divide. So you want to release the resistance and judgments for having those thoughts, and just know that that's part of the experience of motherhood. Why do some people fail again and again after working very hard? Well, what do you mean by failing again and again? Failure, mistakes, missteps, that's all part of life and learning. So if you're failing at the same thing again and again, what I would suggest is that you have not adjusted your pattern significantly enough to get out of the pattern, right? So you have to do a pattern interrupt. Comment. Will, you're on fire. Thank you so much. Let's see. Any questions? Roman says he loves my hair. Well, thank you. Hello, India. Medication has destroyed my teeth and my body. Mark, you are not alone. You are not alone. Are you currently, Mark, are you currently on medicine? What I will say about medicines without going into a deep dive is that they leave in our energy field, so even after we've taken medicines, they can leave what's called an energetic imprint and a signature. So you definitely want to get those out of your energy field. So however you do your energy healing, you want to clear that for sure. Like even before I ingest anything, I set an intention for my medicine, my herbs, if I take medicine, which I try not to. But even for my dog, she's on medicine. And I always set an intention for her medicine. Even for my water that I'm drinking, I always set an intention. So if you haven't seen, I have an intention setting for synchronicity. It's a 7-day program to help you get in the practice of setting intentions, because it's a game changer. But Mark, you're not alone. So my teeth got marked from medicine as well when I was a teenager. And I didn't know what I know now. But let's not get into I wish I never, because, we have to learn our lessons. So learn your lesson, Mark, of what you needed to, so you don't get stuck in regret, okay? Chris is saying, I think mushrooms and pot are good. You're not alone in that. I'm just not a fan. It's not for me. It doesn't resonate for me. When I felt into it, it's a lot of black magic and that, but not for everybody. So, you got to really see what feels best for you and what's in alignment for you. Like mushrooms, they're just not for me. Pot, I've never smoked pot. I know I'm one of the few. I've been around a lot of potheads. It's not my thing. I don't have any judgment about it. Mick, you're on no vitamins. You're on vitamin D, magnesium, omega, and I don't drink or take drugs. Okay, Mick, that's good. Okay, so Mick, my challenge for you is to, first of all, know that there is a September special for new clients. Number two, Mick, you really want to connect. I would just do 5 minutes a day, 4 times a day of just stillness and breathing with your hand on your heart and breathing and just connecting with your heart. So every time your mind wants to go off, you just reconnect to your heart and try that and let me know how that goes. I really have faith in you, Mick, that you can connect. Well, don't be open to the demonic. That's probably what caused your problem, and I addressed that in my peace program. Do not be open to the demonic energy, Mick. That's probably what caused the disconnection. Okay, did I miss a question? Spider-Man, if you have a question, you just have to ask it. Okay, so let me see. Mark, no interest in getting okay. I don't know who Mark's talking to. Okay, does spirituality differ between men and women? Well, we all have our own spiritual experience. So I would say it's not a gender thing, although there is a gender agenda going on. So you have to be blind to not see that there is an agenda about our genders. However, spirituality is not really about a gender so much as it is a specific to your energetic signature. And that energetic signature, your soul signature, that would be specific for you and your purpose here, okay? So your experience is going to be different than mine, spirituality, for sure. And it also depends on how connected you are, right? And we're all here to share and have totally different experiences. Darak Bleak is saying, I'm taking care of my health and my mental health. Good for you. Big man, I don't believe in Jesus, but you do. I believe in Christ consciousness for sure. Big man, I definitely do, but it's not the kind of consciousness that you find in a church usually. Twisted Journey, I respect what you do. Thank you. Thank you. I think there could be a complementary thing for what I'm sharing, Twisted Journey, on this channel and what you're doing. I would just really be mindful of the portals. So if you're not aware of how portals are created, you'll want to start to look into that. It's super important. Yeah. Well, you do not prescribe medications, but you recommend CBD, and I thought something else, so that might be something. I don't recommend that. Darak is saying they want to destroy those who believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. No, it's really those who are following Christ consciousness. And you're correct. Abraham is saying, I changed to a natural path 2 years ago. Good for you. I follow an Ayurvedic practice, and I've never been to a natural path. That's not saying that they're not good. It's just that I prefer herbs and foods to adjust my body. Spider-Man, ask your question. I'm also very in tune with my energy and light workers as well. Yes, that's good for you, Twisted Journey. A lot of light workers, look, go watch my manipulation video. You could get really screwed over by some light workers, let me tell you. And my whole manipulation video, I think it's a series of 2 videos, I can't remember. And I share my experience with working with somebody who has not what they said they were. And that's what I found with many of these light workers is they are not what they say they are. Not all of them. It's just that most of them don't know how they are being manipulated by nefarious energies. And I am, I'm speaking from my own personal experience. Well, obviously it's brought me to the path I'm on here. I mean, when I was going through my situation, I couldn't find anybody to help me. They were too afraid. So, and you really learn how fear manipulates so many people. And when you understand, you know, when you get your mind stable, you will not be as easily manipulated by, you will see differently. That's all. You'll see differently and you'll resonate differently. Good morning. Good day. Hey, Berlin. Good to see you. Hassan, I don't know. I'm not going into personal, those types of personal problems. I would say it's a lack of connection within and knowing your own body. Hassan is asking about premature ejaculation. It's a problem if you make it a problem. Thank you, Will, for sharing my website. You're so beautiful. Thank you. Jerry522, Will just posted my website. I believe it's my website. Because the fonts, I noticed I could see some of the fonts I can't see with my glasses and can't see other. Okay, let's see. Just looking for questions here. We're talking about how to interpret emotional processing. And I gave two very specific aspects that will really just help you. Hello, Canada. Good to see you. Jorgen von Strangle is saying, what if they just give you drugs? Hey, I was watching a podcast the other day about a doctor that was saying, you know, how easily people just take medicines. You know, they just take them. They don't look at them. They, oh, Twisted Journey, you got to message me. I'll show you this video on the DSM. I don't know how to post. Maybe I could post it in the link in the comments after this video. But you'll want to understand how the DSM actually comes to be. And who's behind the DSM, you will know. I say do not diagnose. Do not take drugs that you don't know what it's doing to you. And if you take a drug, use your intentions, your authority, your power, and consent. That's a part of the natural laws. And you must have very clear intentions. And if you give your authority and consent over to these pills, they will reroute your patterns in your body. That's what medicines do, you know, and they do that because most people don't realize they defer their consent to these people who don't necessarily know what you're ingesting. Because most doctors don't spend any time studying the spirituality and how our bodies work. They don't know anything about ascension symptoms. My name is Kiannaa. Hello, Vietnam. Good to see you. Yay. Worldwide here. Yes. Okay. Twisted Journey. But when you do understand it, you are a very elevated therapist. It becomes highly successful. I don't know what you're saying you need to understand. I think the DSM is, well, I have my opinions on the DSM, and it's probably very different than yours, but everybody should look up where the DSM, who owns the DSM, where it originated from, and what the purpose of the DSM is. It's not just for misidentification, which I'm going to be talking about identity. I have that on my list of topics. Twisted Journey agrees it's difficult to find a good therapist. Yes, I have some as clients. I just stumbled on your channel. Can you give me a brief overview of what I do? Okay. A brief overview of energy psychology is essentially everything in life is running energetic patterns. When you understand how patterns run, you can shift, change, and transmute them through your conscious awareness. When you work with somebody like me who has access to different levels of consciousness, you can shift and change those patterns quite easily. So what might be very difficult for those who are just focused on the physical body, for somebody who looks at patterns in the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, like I do, it's easier to adjust and then realign, and so you can become congruent. Obviously congruent with yourself, your purpose, your heart, your mission for why you're even here on this planet. That's what I do. Hopefully that helps you. Yes, I'm reading, I'm trying. Twisted Journey is saying they do not see what's under the surface. Most people do not look beyond the surface. Nishi's saying they do yoga every day. As long as you enjoy it, that's amazing. Mick is saying, I went out with a yoga teacher and she was crazy. Hey, you know, crazy is not limited to yoga. There are people that are out of their minds everywhere, you know? Dark Night. Wow. Dark Night. That's an interesting name. Just looking for questions. Carrie is saying, be careful who you put your energy towards and answers. I don't know, Carrie, who you're talking to, but okay. It's always good to be mindful of where you're putting your energy. Where your attention goes, energy flows. Salvo 96, controlled breathing, no conscious breathing. We don't want to do controlled breathing. And in fact, oftentimes when I start my sessions with my clients and I'm asking them to do because energy runs much easier when you're consciously breathing. When you are controlling your breath, it's limiting life force. So you don't really want to control it. You want it to flow. So go watch the video that I posted. I posted that video about the breath of life. I think I posted that right when COVID was happening. I think I even had my braces on then. Twisted Journey. How do people not know that? I don't know. Salvo 96, that helps so much. Good. Good for you. I'm glad it's helping. Mick, thank you. Mick, keep me posted. Okay, any questions about how to interpret mental or not mental, how to interpret emotional processing? I gave 2 specific aspects at the beginning. What is sleep paralysis? Nobody 7 is saying, what is sleep paralysis all about? It's the astral body being taken over, is my assessment, without knowing exactly who you're talking about, without going into any specifics. But sleep paralysis is happening during, within the astral body. And it's not fun. And it means you need to take back your intent, consent, and authority. Chillin', I was a homeless drug addict living on the streets in Hollywood of California for almost 20 years. Wow, I bet you have seen a lot. But I have changed my life. I no longer use drugs and I'm married now. God is good. Congratulations, Chillin'. That's a beautiful story. I am so thrilled for you. My only suggestion, Chillin', is to clear your body of intent, consent, and authority of anything that is not of God. Since you're saying God is good, you want all of your energies to be realigned to God. And you have to make a command for that to occur. Carrie is saying that's what I'm talking about. Good answer. Okay. I don't know where I'm at in these questions, but I'm just going down. I know that Will is definitely helping me. Okay, Salvo is saying, I lost my best friend earlier this year. I'm so sorry to hear that. We're losing a lot of people. Lots of people are losing people. In fact, one of my closest and dearest friends is in a facility in her transition right now. So it's hard to witness sometimes. I remember literally forgetting how to breathe and being so shocked I couldn't breathe. Yes, that shock and trauma will do that. Never had my heart sink so low after hearing the news. I'm so sorry, Salvo. Grief is a huge process that we're all needing to learn how to process through. So my heart goes out to you. You're not alone. We're all losing people. And let's not allow our grief and sadness to get stuck. Let's process it, And also, I did a video about death and dying, so I'd suggest go checking that out because how we believe about death, how we believe about dying will impact how you are actually experiencing the process. Hey, Walter, good to see you. Twisted. You know you are on the right track when you are surrounded by synchronicity. Yeah, but most people, Twisted Journey, aren't aware what synchronicity is. Yeah, synchronicity is amazing, but you have to be really aware. Just a soldier. Thoughts on anxiety habits in adults. Well, anxiety is a lack of awareness, really, of your mental capacities, your discipline of your mental, and also understanding what's happening within your nervous system, and also not having any awareness about your energy field. So, I have a No More Anxiety program, but I've worked with anxiety. I don't know what to say about anxiety. I've worked with so many people with anxiety, but what I will say the biggest pattern with people with anxiety is that they have a significant lack of trust in themselves. And that dictates a lot of how their mental banter is going. I hope that helps you. And just a soldier, I've worked with many military officers. Medication will make your anxiety worse. That's the one other pattern I will say is that the only way up with those only ways that they recommend with those medications is to give you more. So there's really no way out. So I've helped clients get off anxiety medicines in the past, and you can go on there. I think you could see his testimonial in my testimonials on the website or on the YouTube. But you can get off anxiety medicine without withdrawal. It is possible, because what I've found with people who have been on anxiety medicines is that they are afraid to go off of the medicine because they were so bad when they went on the medicine. And it is possible to get off the medicines without withdrawal, but cold turkey is not the way, and you must have support. I've helped people. It can be done, but it is a process because you have to work to wean yourself off the medicines. And I don't do that because I don't prescribe them, so you have to work with your doctor who prescribed them, and then I assist on my end, if that's of interest to you. Walter, when I get mad, I just smash something. Well, that's one way of expressing. It's probably not the best way, and certainly can be very expensive to break something every time you get mad, Walter, Why do you have to be so angry? But hey, if that works for you, who am I to judge that? If you have a bunch of dishes that you like to break or something like that and it works and it helps you express, then go do it. Just looking at the, somebody is asking influences from Alan Watts. I love Alan Watts. I don't listen to him all the time, but I'm sure I've been influenced by him. I really enjoy his voice. I enjoy what he says. He's really, really beautiful. Will is saying, keep the comments on points. Will, you are just amazing. If you have questions, ask. That's true. What kind of content does this channel provide? Everything that we're talking about in this Being in Sync 366 video series, which this video is a part of, is about aligning back to the natural laws. Mick is saying, I think you make a lot of sense and good advice, I believe. Well, thank you, Mick. I'm happy. I can't wait to hear back from you. The quantum field. And he's laughing. Well, it's there. We're all being impacted and influenced by it. I'm not a therapist. I'm not giving therapy. I am not doing psychiatry. I am just helping people to align to the natural laws. Yes. Twisted Journey agrees 100%. All healing comes from within. Yes. My girlfriend cheated on me. I saw her do it. Yikes. Do I confront her or move on? Chris, why invest any more time with somebody who's clearly not in alignment with you, who's clearly not in alignment with integrity? So, you're asking my advice, so I'm going to tell you, just move on. Save yourself any more hassle. Chris, good question. I had the same experience. Sorry, Will. People cheat. It says more about them than it does about you. However, the people that get cheated on often feel betrayed. So you are the one that has to contend with the feelings of betrayal, which is a huge thing. Salvo, this is a good question. He's saying, there is a difference between judgment and respectful criticism. Okay, if you say so. Twisted Journey is saying, I use essential oils and incense in my personal and professional life. I go from a holistic perspective. Okay, good for you. Me too. Welcome. You're welcome to be here. Thank you for being here. Maria, I've never seen you before and you want to be a mod? And then you're going to ask questions. Okay. Okay, I'm just looking for questions. Somebody asked me about essential oils today. I'm just going to go ahead and say, you can get essential oils on a necklace and keychains and scents and stuff. So it's good for reducing anxiety. I haven't had that experience, but if you have, fantastic. Bailey's asking, am I a doctor? Heck no. No dogmas. No institutionalism. My grandma would just hand me a banana and say, go in the sun. Salvo, good advice. Okay, I'm just going to see if we're over an hour here. So I'm just going to see if there's any questions. I'm going to ask questions and then I'm going to jump off this live. Questions specifically about emotional processing that you don't know. Yes, Mick, I agree. Mick is saying that stay away from drugs. It can lead to demonic portals. Mick, I agree 100%. People don't know about black magic, though. They don't really know about demonic energy. They will know when it's no longer attached to them if they work with somebody who can help them with that. But most people don't know when they have those attachments. Pack is asking, do you like peace or war? Peace is what I believe in, for sure. Not yet is saying he switched from morphine to CBD, high potential potency herbal. Yeah, the goal would be to not need any outside. What you don't want to have is having a lot of aspects that are influencing how your neurotransmitters are firing. And I know a lot of people are big on CBD and for sleep, and I think it's okay in short periods of time, but not for long periods of time. Even though morphine is not ideal, you must be in a lot of pain. So I would try and do meditation, because meditation can relieve pain. And that's my personal experience. I was in extreme pain, and I found that I could be in meditation states throughout the day in consciousness, and I didn't have to be in a zone to do it. I just created that space within me, and that's how I got out of pain. Twisted Journey. I don't call myself a light worker. Mostly because most light workers are, I haven't had a good experience with. So, but thank you. And I don't use that language very much on here. I'm a consultant, and I do energy psychology. Twisted Journey. Okay. The way seems so level-headed. Neezy. I lost it. Did it get deleted? Oh, there it is. The way seems so level-headed. Have you been through a lot personally? Oh, yeah. And I've got videos telling about some of my most difficult times. I have on this channel videos about it. I mean, I consult from my experience. What other experience would I consult from? You know, that's how I learned energy psychology. I didn't plan to go into energy psychology by my logical mind. I wouldn't have had to go to grad school and pay $20,000 or whatever for my master's degree to do energy. I mean, you can't even go to school to learn what I learned. I had to learn because I couldn't get any help, and I had to figure it out on my own, and that's how I've learned. Twisted Journey, if you go to the website, there'll be a place where you can email me, okay? Thank you. And I am offering a September first-time client special. I've never offered it before. I will never offer it again. I'm just doing as I was guided to share. Poppy, we're talking about how to interpret emotional processing. The best two ways, I had two aspects as what I was sharing about. And now I'm just answering questions. Common is asking, what is my profession? This is it. I come on here in between sessions and I do lives. My profession is energy psychology. I'm a consultant. Is life force a metaphor or a physical force? Life force is part of creation. It's creator energy. It's not a metaphor. It is an experience, and you're breathing it. If you're alive, you have life force. Now, that doesn't mean that you have all aspects lit up, which is what you want. Hello, Kenya, Africa, cool. Hello, Madame. Smart women. Oh, thank you. Ghost is saying, man is nothing else but what he makes himself, not what God makes of him. What you're saying, Ghost, here is that we are co-creators, and I agree with you. Zach, hey, good to see you. Has anyone really been far, even as decided to use or want to? I don't know what you're saying here, Zach. I have no idea what you just wrote. Somebody's asking something about punishment in school time. I have no idea what that means. Okay, I'm just going to go look for questions. I'm way behind. Thanks, Catherine. I have no idea where I'm at in the comments. Okay, so I'm just going to answer questions. Okay? Hello, France. What are the natural laws? That's a really great question. There are many natural laws, and it would be a very, very long video for me to go through all the natural laws. But the natural laws are in alignment. They work. They are how all of energy runs, right? So we have the law. For example, we have the law of polarity. We have the law of resonance. We have the law of structure. So all these laws work together. We have the law of attraction. So these are all many aspects of the natural laws, and they all work together. Mick is saying dumper. That's from the question above. Yeah, don't waste your time. All in one, are you a doctor? No, I am not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I do energy psychology, and I am a consultant. Phantom is saying he drank a couple shots of alcohol and he blacked out and probably got possessed. I don't know, Phantom Benz, but it doesn't sound like a good experience. Not everything is about getting possessed, but you definitely want to be in control of your energy, especially now. So like if you blacked out 20 years ago, it's different than now. We're at a heightened state of what's called spiritual warfare. The natural laws, are they like the laws of power? I don't know I've never heard of the laws of power. And the laws of power would not be one of the natural laws. And this is a very interesting point you bring up, the best ever, is that I have watched reels that people have sent to me, even light workers have sent to me, healers, and there are people talking about the natural laws, and they're not talking about they're calling laws that are not laws. So I just turn them off when I know they're not talking about an actual law. They're just making up laws. And that's why you got to have discernment. You have to have discernment about who and what you're listening to, because people that are saying it's a law of energy doesn't mean it's a law. You want to know what the natural laws are. Look at the natural law. You want to look at the law of structure, polarity, resonance. I mean, I'm just naming off a few. The law of attraction, most people know because it was manipulated and sent out to the masses who think that you just activate this one law and you're going to be getting what you dream about. That's not how energy works. It's not at all. And then people are getting bummed when the law doesn't work for them. That is not how it works. So we got to use discernment. We got to use critical thinking. We got to go do research. And now we have to do even more research because the search engines have been usurped and manipulated too. So even as you go to search for things, you're going to have a hard time finding them. I just found out I don't know. Hey, Mick, thank you so much. He's saying I radiate good energy, no energy, but the feelings, but feelings I have trouble with. You know, you're not alone. A lot of people don't understand feelings because they are in their mind trying to judge a feeling. Go put your feet on the grass. Go smell a rose and see how that makes your body feel. That's a feeling. That's a feeling. Hi, UK. Bradford's asking, did God spare Trump? You know, I don't know. I guess I'm. You're asking my opinion. Did God spare Trump? I honestly don't know. It looks like he would have been guided by something to help him because he was definitely set up to go down. But who am I? I wasn't there. I don't know. Nazir, good to see you. What's my take on the law of attraction? Is it anything to do with energy? It's everything to do with energy. And the law of attraction is an actual law. It's one of the many laws of the natural laws, but it's not the only one. And these laws work in conjunction with one another. So we don't ever operate independently. We're always working and entangled and with the laws of structure, the laws of consent. So you got to look up the laws and start to learn them. But everything that I am sharing on this channel is in alignment with the natural laws. So any recommendations that I'm giving to you with the best intention is in alignment with the natural laws that will help you reconnect to your heart and create inner congruence within yourself. But my take on the natural law, on the laws of attraction, since you asked, Nazir, is this, that it was too popular and very manipulated. And it gave people false hope. And I think for many people, they became very misdirected. Oh, Skunky's going through benzo withdrawal, and I'm taking Librium and drinking with them for 9 months, and I can't even get up to go outside except to water my plants. Oh, that sounds like a horrible experience to be feeling. But drugs will make you feel things that are not congruent with the natural laws. So although withdrawal is very challenging, you can get through it, and alcohol isn't going to help you. I promise you that. Do I teach physics? No. I teach energy, psychology. Does that have to do with physics? I'm not a physicist. I just like learning about that type of stuff, but I wouldn't say I teach it. My formal education twisted journey is asking. That's a good question. It's not going to be what you expect. I have my undergrad in communication, and that means I have a BA in communication and debate. And so I'm a big proponent of critical thinking. And I have my master's in organizational leadership and conflict management. And after I got my master's, I started to work with teams and team development because in grad school, I was taking a group relations class. And this is where I started to see energy. And once you see energy, you really can't unsee what you see. And so I started doing group team work. In corporate, we call it teams. And I started doing team development. And it was from team development what I noticed is the reason why the teams were struggling and so dysfunctional is because the leaders didn't know how to manage the energy of the teams. So I got into corporate consulting from there, and there you have it. That's the short part of the story. It's not at all have to do with emotional processing, but that's okay. I think it's important. I think it's a really good question. So thank you for asking. That's my formal education. And I would say everything about what I'm doing now is unlearning all the stuff I was taught that was a lie, inaccurate, and that's what my journey has been. Spiritual warfare is absolutely, Stephanie, agree with you. Spiritual warfare it's a war on consciousness. And Will is so kindly helping with, Will and Oliver helping with the moderation today. But I do believe that's one of the reasons why I get so many crazy things in the chats. Phantom Benz is saying the law of logic is very important also. Where are you getting your laws from? They're not from the natural laws. Mick is saying, I have some work to do. We all have work to do, Mick. That's why we're here to support you. Neezy. You have to align. Destiny versus free will. What do I think? Well, we all have free will, but we don't all use it consciously. So I think free will is a conscious choice. Destiny, I believe that we have some timelines that impact our destiny for sure, and some of those are false timelines. So destiny is oftentimes, usurped by AI, in my opinion. But I will say it's not always. And I would say that, the way I met my husband was destiny. I met him by happenstance on the other side of the world. And we both lived in different countries, and we did long distance. And now we live happily here in California. No, I'm not from New York. Born and raised in California. Think positive. Good to see you here. Thank you. I appreciate your likes. It means something to the algorithms on here and how other people see this channel. Vengeance. Anything you know about a deviated septum. It's how the nose blocks the breath. It is a very my story. Watch the video on manipulation, twisted journey. I have been through it. I shared that video so people understood the levels of demonic energies and could consciously to see where they're at. But I have been through it. Okay, I don't know where I'm at for questions. I am great, Tony. Thank you for being here. My school is going through a hard time right now because a 6th grader no longer can make it. Just the other day, Wednesday, 9/11, is the last day on Earth. Yeah, Lily, a lot of people are going to be exiting during this time. It's going to be very tough. I'm so sorry for your loss. But, go look at my video on death and dying. I think that might help you. Yeah, that photo behind me and my Lily. Oh my gosh, I got to the end. Okay. Do I believe in past lives? Yes. Can the past life impact current life? The answer is absolutely yes. That is why we have DNA. Our DNA is passed down from generation to generation to generation. So if your ancestry didn't process, guess what? You're here. And if you're conscious and you're aware, it's your job. The more that you can process, you actually can heal the lineage. So, you know, we're not, when you become conscious, you're accessing aspects of the DNA that, you know, science has not been able to prove or disprove. So good luck with that one. But you definitely can change your DNA. You can change how your blood is processing. You can change how your body is signaling. You could do a lot. But to answer your question, because I digress on that one, to answer your question, yes, I do believe in past lives can have an impact and an effect on our current life, 100%. Somebody's asking, who is the devil? I don't think that's the right question. What you want to look at is what is satanic. Stop looking for a person or an entity to be something and look at demonic and satanic energies. So that's my answer to that. And now I've gone through all the questions. So, oh my gosh, we've been over an hour, 66 minutes here. And I think that's long enough. And Will, thank you so much for your presence and your, oh, it's not 66, it's 86 minutes. Patrick, oh, you're here. You're definitely going to have to go back. Do you have any questions, Pat? I don't know why I keep calling you Patrick. Peter. Oh my gosh. Hopefully you heard, Peter, this whole thing. Go back for the first 20 minutes. Okay, good. I covered a lot of topics, Peter. Red says he likes my answer about the devil. Okay, y'all. Thank you so much for your time, your energy. You all are amazing. Your questions were great. Will, get a shout out to Will. Thank you so much for your presence, for your willingness to support and help me. Peter, I got a moderator. Will here did an amazing job. Thank you so much. You guys can, I'm here every day. I try to come on live between 12 and 3 p.m. in between my sessions. My name is Kiannaa Sadge, and I guide people to peace. If you're interested, I have a special going on right now for September, and you can find that by emailing me directly. So you have to go to my website because I do not have the link for just anybody. It's for only those people who know. So if you know, you got to be in the in crowd to get the special. So thank you so much for your time, your patience. You guys have a great day. Bye.